Karibu tena double updates popote pale ulipo mtazamaji wangu. Mimi natumai unaendelea vizuri kabisa. Niite Mr. Double J na kama kawaida hii hapa ni ulimwengu wa siasa. Uhuru Kenyatta amefunguka mazito kabisa kule Nigeria, na hata kabla sijakupa hiyo clip, wacha tumpe maua yake, si ndio? I think Uhuru Kenyatta anaendelea kuiheshimisha nchi hii hapa. Yani tunapata heshima kutokana na vitu ambavyo wanafanya kule nje, kwa sababu naamini mwisho siku anawakilisha Kenya, ana represent Kenya. Kwa hiyo mtu akimuona anafanya vitu kama hivyo hapo, anaona Kenya automatic, ndio kitu ambacho tunataka kuona. Hatutaki mtu ambaye anawakilisha Kenya kwa upande fulani ambao marais wengine watasimama waseme yule Ruto hatumuelewi, mara tuende Italy wote, mara sijui tupeleke mwakilishi, mara sijui tufanye nini na stories kama hizo, mtazamaji wangu. Kwa hiyo kama anaweza akaiwakilisha Kenya kwa hivyo vitu vizuri ambavyo anavifanya, no problem. So nikupe tu sehemu ambazo alitembelea Uhuru Kenyatta. Alitangulia kule South Africa ambapo ndo wamemaliza kabisa uchaguzi wao juzi kati hapa. Former President Uhuru Kenyatta in South Africa to lead the Africa Union Election Observation Mission ahead of the country's general election. Alisafiri pale, and cha ajabu ni kwamba alipewa nafasi hii hapa na Africa Union. Yani si ni kitu kizuri, and you can imagine the same person anapewa nafasi ya kuongoza watu ambao wanafuatilia uchaguzi kule Afrika Kusini. Ni yule ambaye serikali na wafanyikazi wa serikali, viongozi wa serikali walikwambia kwamba walitaka kuigeuza ushindi wao mwaka 2022. Sasa kama mtu ni wa aina hiyo ana uwezo wa kubadilisha mpaka uchaguzi kwa njia hiyo, walielezea Kenya Kwanza kina William Samoei Ruto, Ruto-Gachagwa, nimejiuliza angepataje hiyo nafasi kule South Africa. Alikuwa na message nzuri sana kwa wenye vyama kule Afrika Kusini, and BBC walimfanyia interview, ikawa anasema South Africa's party leaders can learn from many examples of past coalition governments from across Africa. Waga ina shida watu wakishirikiana. That's what Kenya's ex-president and the head of the Africa Union Election Observation Mission, Uhuru Kenyatta, told the BBC Repoter. Baadaye akaonekana kwenye location, tunaita eneo la tukio nyingi sana, mtazamaji wangu. Former President Uhuru Kenyatta observes the voting process at polling station during South Africa general election. You can imagine mtu kama huyo amepata nafasi ya kufuatilia uchaguzi wa nchi kama Afrika Kusini, and ni mtu ambaye tayari profile yake tulikuwa tunapewa na hawa serikali, alikuwa ni mtu ambaye unaelewa ninachokizungumzia. Hakuwa mtu straight kwenye masuala ya uchaguzi 2022 kulingana na walivyosema Kenya Kwanza, but again, Mungu ni nani. Baadaye alisafiri mpaka Afrika Kusini, not Afrika Kusini but Nigeria. Former President Uhuru Kenyatta arrives in Nigeria for the 2024 Goodluck Jonathan Foundation GJF, a democracy dialogue organized by former Nigerian President Goodluck Jonathan. So unajua tena kwenye masuala ya demokrasia Afrika kidogo kuna nchi nyingi bado zinahitaji kazi. Zinahitaji kazi when it comes to masuala ya demokrasia. So a very big shout out to Goodluck Jonathan kwa kupanga vitu kama hivi hapa. Unaita viongozi mbalimbali, unazungumza nao. It's a good thing. Uhuru ama yeyote ambaye ataenda, mwisho siku atoki bure, anatoka na vitu vingi sana ambavyo pia akirudi huku anamwagia viongozi wengine ambao labda wanaweza kutamani kupata vitu kama hivyo. Yeye kwa sababu amepata opportunity na kuna vitu amepata pale, anarudi nyumbani, and ndio hichi ina grow hivyo pole pole. Umenipata? Baadaye walienjoy kabisa kule burudani kidogo. Uhuru Kenyatta attends a state banquet in Nigeria, ikawa kubwa. Watu walikuwa wanafuraha kweli, and mimi kitu kimoja ambacho nafurahia ni kuona Uhuru Kenyatta hata baada ya kushambuliwa, kudharauliwa na hivyo vitu vyote, bado anaendelea kupata hizo nafasi. Nafasi zenyewe zinaendana na zile ambazo alikuwa anaambiwa hawezi, sijui nini, haelewi na nini na mambo kama hayo. So it's a good thing, and ni kutuwakilisha na tuwakilishe. So kwangu mimi, apart from amesafiri, vitu vinakaa vizuri, ametuwakilisha pia sisi kama Wakenya, na kadri siku zinavyozidi kuendelea kuna wadogo huku viongozi wengi tu ambao ndo wanachipuka. So wakipata nafasi kukaa na Uhuru, unajua wanaweza akaambiwa moja mbili tatu na wakajua hapa tunafanyaje, hapa tunatakiwa kupeleka vipi. So Uhuru alikuwa na speech muhimu sana wakati akina Gachagua wanaendelea kuongea mambo yao kule. Uhuru naye anaongea vitu vya maana, tena vitu vya watu wazima kabisa. And let me tell you one thing. Gachagua ambaye anapigania umoja, nimeshindwa kabisa kuelewa Uhuru alivyokuwa mbaya wakati alileta Raila Mlima Kenya. See, it's all about kushikana. In fact, ilikuwa all about kushikana. Sasa mimi sijai kuelewa ni kushikana gani anayezungumzia Rigathi. Na akiambiwa ni mkabila anaona vibaya. Sasa Mount Kenya sawa, inatakiwa kushikana, kuje pamoja, vitu viende vizuri. No problem. At the end of the day, it's something good kushikana. But kwa nini akiona mtu anakuja hivi ana feel like, hawa watu ni wanani threaten au ni kitu kipi ambacho kinaendelea? So mimi nataka tu nimuulize Rigathi, kama ni kuleta watu tukae pamoja, tusonge mbele pamoja, Raila alifanyaga makosa gani mpaka yeye akiletwa inakuwa ni noma? Aya, kwa nini basi asifundishwe kitu ambacho anafaa kufanya na kitu ambacho asifai kufanya? Okay, tuambiwe shida yake inakuwa nini, tuelewe. So at the end of the day, si unataka watu wakuje pamoja? Na Uhuru alikuwa mtu wa kwanza kutoka Mount Kenya na kuleta watu wengine nao mshikane pamoja. Sikuwa na tatizo lolote. And by the way, sasa hivi si umeenda kwa Uhuru Kenyatta na unataka Uhuru Kenyatta mshikane, haina shida. But shida ni Raila Odinga. So utampenda shingo upande au ndo utakubali tu kwamba inabidi nimkubali tu mpaka na Raila? Hapo ndo kidogo Rigathi Gachagua anatakiwa kutuelezea. I think niachie hapo, but hii speech nadhani watu wanatakiwa kuisikiliza pole pole. Wakati watu wanaendelea kugombana, Uhuru Kenyatta naye anaendelea kuwakilisha taifa kwa namna ambavyo inatakikana. Tazama mwanzo mwisho, lakini ukimaliza subscribe ili uendelee kupata taarifa nyingi na mpe kila wakati. Bye bye.
14 to 2022.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. And good morning, everybody. Your Excellency, former President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, His Excellency and dear brother, President Jonathan Goodluck Jonathan, our host, His Excellency Goodwin Obaseki, Your Excellency, the former President of Benin, Thomas Boni Aye, Your Excellencies, the former Vice President of Zambia and the former Vice President of Nigeria, Your Highnesses, traditional leaders, deputy governors, distinguished participants, ladies and gentlemen, let me begin. Let me begin by saying that I'm deeply honored and humbled to be invited by my brother and friend, the former President of Nigeria, President Goodluck Jonathan, to participate in this forum. Indeed, education and the leadership agenda is one that is very close to my heart, and I believe to all our hearts. And this is because we must never be allowed to fall by the wayside as we build our African continent, a continent that each and every one of us calls home. It is said that when you give a man a fish, you feed him for a day. But if you teach him to fish, you have fed him for a lifetime. Education is the lifeline for our children to sustain themselves in the ever-challenging and changing global landscape. As leaders, our mandate is to ensure that the vision of our nations, as well as our continent, can be fulfilled. And indeed, it is possible to achieve a better future for our continent. It is not possible to achieve a better future for our continent without significant investment in education and the correct capacity building. The African continent today finds itself at a very critical position as far as history is concerned. We must recognize that the discussions we have in this session will shape the future of our continent, because as a continent, today, we are faced with several challenges that are great impediments to our progress. This, however, should not stand in the way of our transformative agenda of change. And that transformative agenda is anchored in education and leadership. In Kenya, we made deliberate efforts to preserve the continuity of education through various developments for the sake of our future. We continue to dedicate resources to stabilize remote regions, to build schools and post educators so that the literacy gap between urban and rural centers could be closed. We introduced free primary education so that no child would be left behind in the formative years of their development. During my tenure, my government intentionally set aside funds and heavily invested in education-based infrastructure. We built classrooms across the country, and already existing classrooms were further improved to enable them to accommodate more students. And this we did in collaboration with local leadership and communities. We went further to establish community-based management schools, where community-based organizations and parent-teacher associations played a critical role in mobilizing resources and managing schools, as well as carrying out an oversight role. This ensured that our children did not have to travel far to get a good education. As a government, I initiated the 100% transition from primary to secondary level education. This meant that all Kenyan children who left primary school would find a place in a high school in order to continue with their education. This program ensured that our children from across the country got equal exposure to learning opportunities regardless of their socio-economic background. To further even the playing field, we invested considerably in the digitization of the education sector. Digital literacy was a key priority for Kenya to ensure that our children were not left out of the global village. ICT laboratories and centers were set up by government to enhance learning environments and digital literacy. Our vision and goal was to ensure that every Kenyan child had the same opportunity, and we embarked on a program to give all children an equal fighting chance in the fast-paced and ever-evolving global village. Our two projects involved re-energizing and refocusing of the education curriculum and improving digital literacy. This also led out to a multi-pronged rollout of ensuring that every single primary school in our republic was connected to the electric grid, and where the grid was not, was powered through solar and other such technology. To achieve this, and also to further enhance our digital program, every government-owned primary school student was to receive a tablet to breach the gap of digital literacy between urban students and children in rural areas. We went further to introduce the competency-based curriculum designed to equip our children with skills and to give them a hands-on approach in problem-solving techniques through assessments made in every stage of their learning. This curriculum ensures that the child's talent is identified and therefore nurtured, presenting them with the opportunity to cast their nets wide when it comes to a selection of a profession. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, I share our experiences in Kenya to illustrate the importance of embracing functional education and the place of political leadership in making this dream a reality. Political goodwill is very key in implementing strategies and mobilizing resources to unlock the potential that lies within or outside our continent for sustainable growth and prosperity. As a continent, we must look at our curricula in comparison with the changing global needs and embrace an education system that aims to foster critical thinking, innovation, and creativity, as this will bolster the continent to unmeasurable heights. It is our task as leaders of this great continent, therefore, to empower our young and youth with the tools that will shape and prepare them to be great and active participants in the global economy. It is equally our duty to ensure that our young people become effective agents of positive change in their communities. We must therefore invest in education to ensure inclusivity, diversity, and equal opportunity for all our children. This will help foster a conducive environment for innovation and growth. As African leaders gathered here today, past, present, and from the applause I heard, possible future leaders, let us take up this task with the seriousness that it deserves. We need to do this in order to prepare our leaders of tomorrow. The deliberations that will be held here today must by all means provide a roadmap, develop strategies and policies that will set our continent on a winning trajectory. We need to understand that the example that we set will serve to teach our precious children who look up to us with expectation and anticipation. Rhetoric and empty promises and lack of tangible actions by we, the leaders of today, only serves to destroy our future. We must therefore lead by example, embodying values of honesty, humility, and servant leadership. We must work on eradicating corruption and the mismanagement of public resources, as they are the cancer that stifles progress and destroys public trust. The composition of this audience today comprises highly educated men and women who have sought wisdom from across the globe for the benefit of our beloved continent. We are therefore charged with the responsibility to ensure that the youth in our respective communities and countries can also benefit from quality education right here in our mother continent, Africa. Let us acknowledge our challenges and find ways to do more and be more than just famous names. Let us aspire to be the great builders of Africa's future, and that can only be achieved if we invest in our education and we invest in our children, thereby investing in our future. Let us intentionally empower our young people, intentionally allow ourselves to be held accountable as we carry our duty to our people. Unity is our strength. Africa has a lot of potential, and we have the key to usher the continent into an era of prosperity, peace, and sustainable development. My hope is that the deliberations we begin today will be the step we need in our journey to build the Africa we dream of, an Africa that will secure its place in the global arena by empowering our youth through education. Not just an education, but an education that will make them competitive, encourage them to be innovative, and to embrace creativity. As I conclude, let me take this opportunity to congratulate the Governor of Edo State, His Excellency Godwin Obaseki. I congratulate you for the enormous strides that you and your government have taken to further the education of the children of Edo State. Well done to you and your team. Congratulations once again. And may you keep up with this great work. May God bless you all. May God bless beautiful Edo. May God bless Nigeria.
Amen.
God bless Africa and her children. And I thank you all for your kind attention. Thank you very much.
Your Excellencies, very distinguished guests, can the applause be made resounding for His Excellency Uhuru Kenyatta, former President of Kenya and the indefatigable chairman for these events. Please, one more round of applause for His Excellency. We will next have a goodwill message. His Royal Majesty, the Oba of Benin, is very much here with his representatives to give solidarity to this